All right, welcome everyone to our Healthy Together time, our first webinar of the new year, January 5th, 2022. Can you believe it? That seems weird to say. I feel like it was just 2020. I don't know. 2021 just kind of was a blur. I don't know.
Yeah, last couple of years have been a little bit of a blur, huh?
Very true, very true. But we are so excited tonight for everyone who is joining us for our Healthy Together time, because we get to talk about the dreaded New Year's resolutions. I'm curious how many of you drop in the chat if you are on live. How many of you have made New Year's resolutions in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you have made New Year's resolutions in the past. So probably, oh, I'm seeing lots of 1s.
Okay. And did you know that 85% of New Year's resolutions are finished by January 15th?
Ouch.
How many of you put a 2 in the chat if you've ever been part of that 85%?
Yeah, Chris is like, not 95%.
Not 95%. So true.
I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing some 2s as well. Yeah, we've all been there. Like, let's talk about some of the top New Year's resolutions that we typically hear people making. So here's the top ones. I just Googled this. So exercise more, lose weight, learn a new skill or hobby, save more money or spend less money. I guess that kind of goes along with each other. Quit smoking. I'm glad that that is still on there. You guys, you got to quit smoking, right? Like,
if Dr. A always says, hey, if you're trying to get healthy right now and you still smoke, stop.
Yeah, stop it. That's one of those things. Okay, spend more time with family and friends. So I think these are things that a lot of us want to work on, right? Better health, have just better fulfillment. It's the trilogy of optimal health, right? Who out there doesn't want a healthier body, have more fulfillment, healthier mind, and wants more financial security? Like, I don't know. My friend JC says, everybody wants to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser.
Right. Yeah, I just heard was reading a crazy study from a psychiatrist that said that 24% of Americans suffer from mental illness.
Wow.
Overwhelm, anxiety, stress, disorders that have been diagnosed, and some of those things are we're going to go into some of those things, talking about how those things affect our ability to stay true to those things that we want to resolve in our life, those resolutions that we're making at this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about some strategies. Would it be helpful for you guys to have some strategies as you are going into a new year and you're wanting to improve yourself, but you want to combat that number that Jared talked about, where 85% of the New Year's resolutions are like out the window after 2 weeks? So let's go over some of those things right now. All right. So the question that I want you to ask yourself is, what's the vision? What is the vision that you have for this next year, and really for your life?
Yeah, the great Helen Keller one time said that the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision.
Yeah, if you were just focusing on kind of like, I don't know, the drudgery. Like, let's take that number 1 New Year's resolution. Exercise more is what it was, right? And let's say that you hate going to the gym and you're like, but I said I want to exercise more, so I better get me a gym membership, and I'm going to hate it, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to white knuckle it. I'm going to get to that gym at 5 a.m. And you guys, this is why people give up after 2 weeks. So you first have to look at what you're creating. So what's the vision? Why do you want to exercise more? That's what I think is hilarious about these resolutions, is there is no why attached to it. It's just like, well, I should. If that's the why behind your resolution, guess how long it's going to last? January 15th. So if the vision, the why behind exercise more is, I want to lead an active lifestyle. Like, I want to feel energized. I want to be a healthier person. I want to live long. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, what's the vision behind it? What's that driving force for you? So in Dr. A's book, and this is in element 1, he talks about some of the, let's see if I can, he talks about some of the vision type statements that really bring it to that next level. So let's talk about some of these, because a lot of people, they set a resolution, it's about a quick fix, right?
So one of our, anybody who's joining us and has joined us many times before, you guys know that we talk about the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. And we work a lot with the Conscious Leadership Group. And Jim Dethmer, the founder of the Conscious Leadership Group, he talks about these. And this is kind of, there's two, we change based on vision or dissatisfaction, right? And 90% of people, and this is this first thing that Dr. A is pointing out, 90% of change begins with dissatisfaction.
Yeah, you don't like how it is now.
Right. Rather than having a big vision. But the thing about dissatisfaction can push you into action, but vision pulls you. So the problem with changing based on dissatisfaction is, if I need to lose, and this was true of me for nearly a decade of my life, thank goodness for Optavia that I learned how to make sense of all this. I was pushed by dissatisfaction for a decade. And I needed to lose about 50 pounds, and I kept losing 20. And then I felt better, right? My dissatisfaction wasn't as high. And then I'm like, oh, I'm good, right? But then I would regain that weight, and I was going through this yo-yo cycle, and every single time it seemed like I became more and more and more and more dissatisfied.
Yeah. So it can start with being dissatisfied. There's nothing wrong with that, but really, to have that vision, that is what is going to make this a lifestyle change. And, you know, I was talking about element 1, and I'm talking about our educational curriculum, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later, but talk to the coach who invited you if you're like, what's this element 1? Because really, it's all about changing this mindset piece. And that's what we do here with our program. So let's keep going. So vision, what's the vision? What if you could say this: I am done with quick fixes, and I want to create sustainable changes. I think we all want that, but at some level. But when you don't create a vision of that, that's when it starts lasting 15 days, right?
Yeah, because what's the default? We go back to things that we're good at.
Yeah.
We love to feel good about ourselves by doing the things that we're good at.
What's comfortable.
What's comfortable.
Yeah. So how about this one? Important. I am ready to put my health and well-being first. I'm ready to make that important in my life. Decision. I'm ready to get off the fence and go for it. You guys, how much energy do you waste trying to make a decision? Like, when am I going to start? When am I going to do that? I don't know if I'm ready. Instead of just making that decision, getting off the fence and going for it, putting that energy that you're wasting in indecision towards action. How about this one? More than weight loss. I want to create health and well-being. That was what the number 2 or number 3 resolution was, weight loss. If it's just about weight loss, you're going to be on that yo-yo like Jared described, because you're going to lose a little bit of weight. You're going to be feeling a little bit better, not all the way better, but all of a sudden the tension is off and you go back to how you were used to eat or act. But if you're really focused, the vision is creating health and well-being. That's a whole different story. Or in charge. I'm ready to be in charge of my health. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in a little bit.
And I would add this: I'm ready to be in charge of my life.
Yes.
Our kids, our grandkids, the people that we care about, they need the healthiest version of us.
Mm-hmm.
My kids they didn't need the unhealthy version of me. I wasn't serving them well. So are you ready in this new year to be in charge of your life? To show our kids and the people who depend on us a better way of feeling good physically, feeling good mentally. And it goes right into that.
Right. Best version of myself. Because here's the thing, if you just focus on doing different things, it's not going to be long-term sustainable. But if you focus on becoming the highest version of yourself or the best version of yourself, that's where you're going to see it happen. So the question is, who are you becoming? Who do you need to become to get the things that you want? Because I'm going to tell you this right now, is how your life is right now. Well, it's probably an accumulation of like the last 6 months, right? That's the trajectory. How your life is right now, how much money you make, what your scale says or your measuring tape, your energy, your finances, your bank account, your relationships, how it is right now today it's a sum of the choices that you've made in the last 6 to 12 months. And sometimes that hurts, you guys. Sometimes you're like, ouch.
It hurts a lot. And we've been married for 23 years. And I'm responsible for me. I'm not responsible for her. I'm responsible for me, and she's responsible for herself. And for a lot of years, we tried to be responsible for each other rather than taking radical responsibility for our own behaviors and our own actions and our own habits. And we're not perfect. We're still working on these, but what we're becoming is individuals who are fully responsible for themselves. And then we get to share the best parts of ourselves with each other.
So ask yourself, who are you becoming? This is kind of an identity-based question, because if you think about it, so we talked about quit smoking. That was like number 5, or I can't remember. I'm getting all of my numbers of the resolutions from the survey mixed up. But let's say that you are trying to quit smoking. They say that the easier road, the mantra, if you will, is to say, I am a non-smoker, instead of, I want to stop smoking. Because if you see yourself as a non-smoker and you're putting on that identity, then that is going to be so much easier in your quest towards becoming that person, becoming that non-smoker. So the same is true. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you put it on an identity type based mantra. I am a healthy, active, strong person. I like to do active things. I bring my friends along with me. And when you make it that identity based, that's who you are becoming. And I'm not saying that it happens in 5 minutes, because it doesn't. But focusing on who you're becoming rather than what you're doing is huge. So here's a question. What must we let go of?
Have you guys ever seen like the cartoon pictures of this person holding onto the rope, and the rope is just being pulled through their hands? Right? And it's like, what are you not letting go of? So much of our life is just holding on to something that we have control, that we literally just have to release it. But we're holding on to something. For us, for a lot of years, we're foodies. It was an identity that we couldn't escape because we chose to continue to call ourselves something.
Yep. Let's go over the drama triangle, you guys. This is from element 4 in Dr. A's life book, one of the books that we use as our curriculum in this program. And I love the drama triangle because it spells it out so well. Whenever you are having drama in your life, chances are you're falling into one of these roles. And the top one, victim. It's being done to me.
Woe is me.
That's right. It's not fair. It's not fair that, my family, they come over and they bring, and now I'm going to villain. My family is such a villain. It's all their fault. They bring me cookies and my mother-in-law will be offended if I don't eat them. I'm such a victim. It's just not fair.
I wish I was like my best friend who can eat whatever they want and they stay healthy. Sorry, they're not healthy. They might be skinny, but they're not healthy if they're eating whatever they want.
Yeah, that's so true. And also, do you live with them 24/7 and see everything they eat? Because I have a feeling they might eat more salads than you think. But, or the hero. I've had such a long day and I deserve some cake. I deserve it. I've been so good. And you're heroing yourself, or you're heroing someone else. Oh my gosh, honey, I'm so sorry you're going through so much. Come here, eat some ice cream. How many times do we fall into these roles? What must we let go of? A lot of times these are habits that have been with us for a really long time, you guys. Sometimes you have to let go of things that have been with you for a long time, and it's not comfortable. So let's go back to the vision. If you're going to create, that's when we want to move to the empowerment triangle, the empowerment dynamic, where you're the creator of your life. I am in charge of what happens. I'm creating my new story. And, I always, whenever we talk about this, people are like, but Amber, there is stuff that happens in your life you have no control over. You know what? You're right. You are 100% right. And somebody wise, maybe Jared will remember who said this, but there are 3 kinds of business in this world.
Byron Katie.
Thank you. Byron Katie, there's 3 types of business in this world. There is your business, there is other people's business, and there's God's business or the universe or whatever you want to say. Okay. And the happiest people are the ones who stay in their own business. Yes, there are going to be other people who do stuff that throw you off your game, who are trying to drag you down to that drama triangle. And then there's the universe that sends you snowstorms and hail and sleet and whatever, earthquakes of all kinds. And you're 100% true in that. But if you stick to your business, and you can always control your reaction.
We can't even control all of our own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, you're going to get thoughts that just pop in.
Yep, can't control them. You can change the trajectory of those thoughts and feelings over time. But even when you become hyper aware and very conscious, you're this higher self now, right? You're still going to have thoughts pop into your head. The only thing that we are in absolute control of is our response.
Mm-hmm. I love what Amy just said in the chat. Stay out of other people's drama triangle. Your drama triangle is plenty, okay?
When that's one of the big problems in the world. You've got all these overlapping drama triangles.
It's so true.
That's called chaos.
Oh man, I love that. So what do you already have to make your vision a reality? What do you already have at your disposal? And you have a lot of stuff. I put the 4 components of our system on here, and I want to talk a little bit about that in a second, but you probably have a lot of support at your fingertips. A lot of times you have support that you're not tapping into. If you are a client of this program, you have a coach and they have a coach and you have a life book, and you probably have a spouse or a best friend or something. Even when people in your life tend to be sabotagers, probably none of us here ever had any sabotagers. This guy, when I was losing my weight, This guy right here would be like, do you want some ice cream?
No, the real story, my side of the story, she'd be like, do you want some dessert? I'm like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. And she would come back with artichokes. And I'm like, what in the world is this?
Oh, yes, good times. But
yeah.
You might have some sabotage in your life. And so the businesses, right? My business, other people's business, God's business. What is in your control? You know what you may have not done is talk to that person who's not being helpful. That's what you can do, is say, you know what my request from you is that when you get ice cream at night, because that's fine. Don't ask me if I want any. You can make that request. Now, whether they listen and actually honor that request, that's their business, right? But if you haven't even made that request, that's your business. That's fair.
Yeah. The great Jim Rohn one time said, don't wish that things were easier, wish that you were better. Yeah. Right?
Who are you becoming?
If we want to change anything in our life, there's one thing that we need. We need different skills. We don't currently have the skills. I had a mentor that one time asked me a few years ago, very first Zoom meeting that I ever had with her. And she said, Jared, do you want me to coach you your way or my way? And I'm kind of a brat, so I just kind of teased her. I'm like, well, what's the difference? And she said, if I coach you your way, you'll continue to get the same results you're getting. If you allow me to coach you my way, I guarantee you different results. Oh, I like guaranteed results. What do you guarantee? She said, different. I can't guarantee you what those results are, but I guarantee they'll be different because you'll develop new skills. Skills come from two places. Amber just mentioned one of them, support. Mentors, coaches, people who support your goals. You're going to develop new skills because you're going to learn things from them that they are maybe a step or two ahead of you on the path. The other one is structure. Do you have structure in your life that will help you create what it is that you want? Most people don't have the current structure to achieve their goals, and that's why they don't have their goals already.
That's right. And so this brings us back to our 4 components of our system. You guys, this is based on scientific facts that this is what helps people to create success. And the first one is having a coach. Independent opt to be a coach, everyone has one. And if yours is going through some stuff and not plugged in, guess what? They have a coach. So ask them who their coach is. And just having somebody on the road with you, this isn't an expert who knows everything, who's going to tell you what to do. That's not what we do as coaches. We link arms and say, you know what? We're both taking this hike. Let's hike together because that's way more fun. And some people say, I just love to have someone who will hold me accountable. And you know what I say to that? Your coach is not there to hold you accountable. Your coach is there to witness you holding yourself accountable. And I love that. Our Habits of Health transformational system. So Dr. A's Habits of Health and your life book are part of this. And I mentioned a couple elements from those books today. And this is where you actually pick up a book, you guys, and then you write stuff. And there is scientific evidence showing that when you do that, because so many people, why isn't this just, on Audible, or an Audible would be nice. I'm still pulling for that. But why can't I just type it on an online? Because there's actual scientific evidence of you writing things and how that sticks in your brain better, which I think is really cool. And then our community, if you're on this call or you're listening back on the podcast or the YouTube channel, you are participating in our community. And there are other people and they are rooting for you to succeed because there is an abundance of success that can be had. My success does not negate your success. So everyone wants each other to be successful here. And then our fueling system.
Okay. Oh my gosh, people, we use technology for everything. We have phones, we're on a computer. This technology we have right here is a miracle that this is all happening right now, right? That we're able to join together from all across the country and stuff. Stop not using the technology
not use it. Use it.
Use it. Use the technology that is scientifically designed to help you achieve your goals.
Mm-hmm. I've heard people say, I'm just going to do it on my own. Like that makes you like a better person or something.
I did it on my own for 10 years and I kept on the same yo-yo cycle. And then I used the technology and I used the transformational system. And for the last 13 years, I'm the healthiest version that I've ever been in my life.
Absolutely. And so let's go back to when I was losing my weight because I want to talk about me. No, just kidding. Basically, I followed these steps, you guys. What was the vision? For me, it did start with some dissatisfaction. I found out that my cholesterol was 259, which anything over 200 is high. if you've never heard cholesterol numbers. And I was a little freaked out because I was in my 20s. And I'm going, I'm supposed to be the healthiest time of my life, and my numbers are going in the wrong direction. And for me, I started to get a vision. I said, I want to be the healthy mom with energy who wants to take her kids to the park instead of teach them how to work the DVD player. That's how old I am. My kids used the DVD player when they were little. And teaching them how to do it because I'm taking a nap on the couch. And I had a vision of better for my life. And I followed that up with finding exercise I enjoyed. I followed that up by changing my eating habits, making it doable for my busy lifestyle, and I never dieted, you guys. It was not about dieting. There was no end to my healthy eating plan. And it just has made the biggest difference now, 18 years later, probably 19, I lose track, that I have created a life around what mattered most to me. And I'm so thankful that Optavia has been part of that. $1 billion brand, over 2 million lives affected. We've been coaches with Optavia now for 13 years. We've seen so many lives changed. We were named the second fastest growing company in the world in 2020 by Fortune magazine. And we're going to end our call tonight by talking a little bit about what it means to pay it forward, to help others. You guys, did you know you are 500% more likely to reach and maintain your healthy weight long-term if you're helping somebody else as a coach? It's pretty dang cool. So thank you for joining, and stick around if you want to learn a little bit more about coaching.